Hello VC, what's going on? It's me Will, and I'm back with a new outdoor video. And it's a really nice day here in Atlanta, even though it's really hot already, even though it's in the morning. But anyways, we're gonna go check out the Atlanta Record Show. Let's see if we find something. Let's check it out.
Stay right there, go no further. Don't get a doctor, don't get my mother. Scoop out a walk, gotta decide. Turn around, we're taking the ride. So take another pill from your purse. Take a
Hey guys, so I'm back home from the record show, and I was actually gonna show you some of the records that I picked up at the show outside in my car after leaving the show, but it was just way too hot to be outside, even with inside my car with the AC running. I just decided to come back home and show you my haul here in my house. So yeah, as you saw in the video, a really good record show, really well attended. There were lots of people there, especially at the very beginning of the show. I was there for about an hour or an hour and a half, and I did find a lot of good stuff, mostly singles though. I picked up a lot of 12-inch singles as well as some 7-inch singles, and just a couple of CDs. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. And let's start off with this really cool 12-inch single by Dinosaur Jr. And this one is their famous cover of The Cure called Just Like Heaven. And this one came out in 1989 on SST Records. This is a 12-inch single version, and I'm pretty sure this is the original copy because it came in with a really cool etching in one side. This is a single-sided single or record with the music in one side, and then there's the SST labels. And in the other side you get a really cool looking etching right there. And honestly, I haven't ever seen this one out there in the wild, so I was really excited when I saw this one at the record show. And it wasn't too expensive. It was like I think $12 or $13, so I just jumped, I picked it up, of course. Really cool single by Dinosaur Jr. In my opinion, one of their best songs, even though it's a cover. Alright, up next I also picked up another 12-inch single, and this one is by the Ramones, of course. And this one is Howlin' at the Moon. And this one came out in 1984 on Beggars Banquets Records. And I do have another copy of this single, but it's the US version. This is the UK version of the single. That comes in the red cover instead of the blue one. In the back, the picture of the guys from the Too Tough to Die era. And there's the track lists. You get Howling at the Moon, Smash You, and Street Fighting Man, which I think it's a Rolling Stones cover song. I could be wrong though. Yeah, really cool single right there, and it came in on just a regular black vinyl with the Beggars Banquet labels. I really needed this single for my Ramones collection, even though I already had the US version. Alright, up next I also picked up a couple of CDs, and this is a brand new one. This is the Manchester Orchestra. This one is called Black Mile to the Surface. Haven't opened this one on CD yet. Still sealed. And actually I was just looking online and I saw that of course, this is the Manchester Orchestra. It's an Atlanta-based band, so it's a local band. But this album hasn't been released yet. It actually comes out next week. So this must be some kind of radio promo that someone in the record show got it and is selling it at the record show. Anyways, I haven't listened to it yet, but I really like their music. I have seen them live a couple of times and they really kick ass. So I really look forward to the new Manchester Orchestra album. And this one came out on Loma Vista Records. All right, up next, another CD. This is the last CD that I picked up is Wild Flag. And Wild Flag is the side project of Carrie Brownstein and Janet Weiss from Sleater-Kinney. And this is their self-titled album that came out originally in 2000 on Kill Rock Stars Records. And there you see in the picture right there, Carrie, and in the background you see Janet. And the other guitar player, I guess, is Rebecca Cole. And I guess they have another guitar player called Mary Timony in the band. And honestly, I didn't know much about this band or this side project. I didn't know much about them at all, actually, but I decided to go ahead and check them out. There's the CD. I did listen to this one in the car, and it is really good. It's very similar in style as Sleater-Kinney, maybe not as edgy music, but it's very similar in style, and I really like it. Pretty much anything that Carrie Brownstein does, it's really good. So make sure that you check that one out. Alright, up next, let's move on to the 7-inch singles. And I did pick up, speaking of Sleater-Kinney and Carrie Brownstein, I picked up Sleater-Kinney's 7-inch single, and this one's called You're No Rock and Roll Fun. And this one came out in 2000 on Kill Rock Stars Records. And yeah, there's the back. Actually, I'd never seen a Sleater-Kinney 7-inch single before. Out in the wild. It came in on the custom labels and black vinyl. And Sleater-Kinney is one of my favorite bands of all time, so I had to pick this one up. It's very rare to see some Sleater-Kinney singles out there, so of course I picked that one up. Alright, next I picked up a Rancid single, and this was just a self-titled single, I guess. This is the very first single by Rancid, and what's cool is that it came in on Lookout Records. So Lookout Records is, of course, the already defunct record label from California that, of course, bands like Rancid and Green Day had some of their first albums released in this record label. So I've never seen it again before in the wild, so I wanted to pick it up. Rancid is one of my favorite punk rock bands, and it came in with this really nice insert with the lyrics, and it came in with 4 songs in the vinyl, on regular black vinyl and the custom labels. And this one came out originally in 1992, of course, on Lookout Records. Glad to add it to my Rancid collection. Alright, next I picked up a couple more 7-inch singles, and these are 2 singles by The Strokes. And this one's called 1251, one of their first singles from the first 3 albums, I think. And it came in on RCA Records, and this one came out originally in 2003. I'm not sure if this one is a repress or not. I didn't get a chance to look if it was a repress or original one. I think it may be an original one though. Came in on standard black vinyl with the custom labels. And I do love that song 1251 by The Strokes. And the second one that I picked up is this one. It's called Juicebox, one of the later singles by The Strokes that I also like a lot. I like most of the stuff that The Strokes have released, maybe with the exception of the last few albums, but up to here I do like the music that The Strokes came up with. And this one also came out on RCA Records from 2005 on regular black vinyl and the custom labels. Really cool to add it to my collection. I actually didn't have any singles by The Strokes before, so I'm glad to add this ones. Alright, up next, this one's a funny one. Really cool, picture this from the Go-Go's. And this one came out in 1982 on IRS Records. Very obviously from the 80s. As you can see, it's a picture of this with lots of colors there with the band members, and in the back you get a really goofy picture of the band. I just decided to go ahead and buy this one because it just looks so 80s. And I love the songs, of course. You get in one side one of the most famous songs by the Go-Go's, We Got the Beat, and the B-side is Our Lips Are Sealed. 2 classic songs by the Go-Go's, and it says limited edition of 50,000 copies. How limited is that? And I got copy 12,163 printed in the USA on IRS Records. Really cool to add it to the 7-inch single collection. Alright, and lastly I picked up a couple of punk rock 7-inch singles. These are more underground, I would say. But this first one is by a band called Discount, or I guess it's a split single. And one side you get Discount, and in the other side you get a single by J Church. 2 punk rock bands from the late 90s, early 2000 era. And this one came out in 1996 on Liquid Meat Records. And you may have heard me talk about this band Discount before. I'm a huge fan of Alison Mosshart, the lead singer of a band called The Kills, as well as The Dead Weather. This was her initial punk band. The band that she got started in is called Discount. And I don't think I've heard this song before, but since it was something by Discount, that I don't own anything by Discount before, so I decided to go ahead and buy this one. And what's cool is that it's just so DIY. This is basically just a standard piece of cardboard that they used it to put together their single. And inside you get the lyrics and some artwork. Really cool 7-inch single from Discount and J Church, and came in on just regular black vinyl on the with the custom labels. Really cool single by Discount. And last but not least, this is another punk rock 7-inch single. This is a band called This Bike is a Pipe Bomb. Really interesting band name. Punk rock band, also from the late 90s, early 2000s era. And this is their single called The Black Panther Party, and it came out in 2001 on Arkham Records. And this is a band that I was really into back in the early mid 2000s, and then all of a sudden they disappeared from the planet. And I didn't listen to. I used to listen to them a lot, and then since I didn't hear anything about them, so when I saw this single, I decided to go ahead and buy it. And it's also very DIY looking. This looks like it was made by hand. Like somebody actually spray painted on this with a stencil. I don't know if you can see it right there, but it is just a piece of cardboard. Maybe somebody had a stencil and they spray painted on it. Really cool looking. And even in the back you can see some pieces of some ink or some paint in the sides. Really cool artwork. It looks very, very DIY. And the single itself also very DIY looking. Came in with just a regular piece of paper with the lyrics and some more the credits and more artwork. And the single itself came in on black vinyl with custom labels. And yeah, from 2001, This Bike is a Pipe Bomb. Excellent pop punk band from the early 2000s. I may need to listen to them again, because I remember liking them quite a bit back in the almost 20 years ago, and I really haven't caught up with them in the last few years, but I really need to check them out and listen and give them another listen. Anyways, VC, thank you for much for watching. Again, this is my haul from the latest record show. Thanks again for watching, and take care. Bye bye.